Okay, so I am replanting some seeds today. I'm gonna try to get rid of my royal burgundy bush beans and the pinto beans. I don't know if that's gonna be possible, but I want to, this one is very full. This one is almost done. This one's almost done. So I'm gonna try to at least get rid of these seed packets. I'm also gonna plant the yellow crookneck squash because I planted zucchini yesterday and I did not have my squash with me, this one. So I'm gonna plant this today as well. I'm also going to be planting more dazzling blue kale, dinosaur kale. These are seeds from a Rocky Ford cantaloupe that was in my seed collection. And I don't know, I might just try to plant a couple and see if they will germinate. And I'm going to do more parsley, triple curled chervil, which is also known as French parsley, and just Italian parsley as well. And some flowers. I have Cosmo seeds that I got from a Cosmo in the community garden last year. Hollyhock, because my hollyhock has not popped up yet, and I don't even know where the seed is currently. More black-eyed Susans. I'm going to see if I can get rid of this seed packet and see if I can get anything to germinate. I have planted wild bergamot, and again, nothing has germinated. Some of my borage hasn't germinated, so I'm going to plant more of that. More butterfly pea, because I also haven't seen anything of this, so more of that. And then purple basil and oregano. So that is what I'm going to be planting today. So many, but I am just trying to get through some of my seeds to lighten up my seed collection and also plant things that just have not germinated yet. Also, look, we have had some visitors at our insect hotel, which is so exciting. This one is full, and those two right over there. That means some kind of insect has put an egg or a larva in there and a paralyzed bug, and then they patch it up with some mud, and then the larva eats the bug and then turns into an adult and then escapes out of there. Such a cool little concept. I love it. Bugs are so neat. I was just out here watering and I discovered a snap pea needs to be harvested, and this is our first snap pea. Here it is, our first snap pea. Let's go see how much it weighs. I think I'm actually going to harvest this other one as well. The peas inside are pretty plump. The more you harvest pea plants, the more the plant keeps producing peas for you. 6.1 grams of snap peas. I'm gonna take the little top pieces off. All right, 5.8 grams of snap peas. This tatsoi right here needs to be harvested. It is about to wilt. So before it flowers, I'm going to cut it. Some arugula as well, I'm going to get rid of. You know what? I don't really understand tatsoi. It's supposed to look like this. I'll pop it up on the screen, but all of mine turned out like this, very elongated and not really bushy like. Maybe it's the heat. Maybe they didn't get enough sun and they were just really leggy and stretched. I don't know. I've never been able to successfully grow this tatsoi. Let me know what you think if you've grown it before. What does it look like to you? 18.7 grams of tatsoi, 5 grams of arugula, So earlier today, we went over to the garden and I planted more loofah because nothing has germinated. So we'll see if this time it'll work. We also gave the garden a good watering as well. After that, we went to the farmer's market, which I didn't get any footage of, but I did get some footage of some bindweed growing on the side of the road. All of those flowers are bindweed. It's also known as morning glory, but it's way worse than a morning glory that you would plant purposefully. And speaking of the garden, I got something for it. Well, not really for it, but I guess something relating to the garden. And I wish I had filmed this. It just didn't happen. I wasn't filming, but my girlfriend did see it and she thought it was so funny. I ordered this thing online on Amazon. Well, I thought it was gonna be like this big, you know, good, I don't know, that big or so. Got it in the mail, opened up the package, saw this and was like, wow, it's much smaller than I imagined. And then I opened it. And that's exactly what it did. And I was like, oh my God. And actually, it's much bigger than I had imagined, like really giant. This is a herb dryer. I thought instead of using the dehydrator for small amount of herbs and wasting the energy and heating up the apartment during the day or at night, I could hang this out on the balcony, put whatever I needed in there and dehydrate it naturally that way. I think it'll actually be really successful because it's so dry here. We have very low humidity. So I'm gonna set this up on the balcony, or I'm gonna set up like a little hook I can hang it on and then take it down when not in use, because it is so giant. I am so glad I didn't get like the 6 or 7 tiered one. I almost did. That one was actually in my cart for the longest, and I decided to go with the 4 level one, and I'm very glad that I did. It is quite big. I will link it in the description if you want to see which one I got, but the good thing is, there we go, shrinks to this size, which is really awesome. It also came with a hook. Not bad of a purchase, I think. I don't think it was like $20 or maybe less or something, so not too bad. It'll save a little bit on the energy costs and also help keep the home cool, because during the summer I do use the dehydrator so much for herbs from the garden, but it heats up the home, and that's really what we don't need. Before I work on this project, I need to sew mesh bags. So that's what we're gonna work on right now. Why did I decide to use black thread? I'm not really sure, but it's there, it's done. I'm going to use this string as the tie or cinch, and I'm gonna sew around it kind of like that, and then have it come out one end. Okay, I think I did it. I got these little cinching things off of Amazon. There we go. What I did was just cut out on the fold side up here, and it was open on this side and on this side. And then I sewed those sides. The bottom, I flipped it over and put the string in, and then I sewed twice to reinforce this seam right here. And I did zigzag stitch on all of the seams. So I just figured maybe reinforcing this bottom one would be good, since I will be putting a lot of like stress and pressure on it. The purpose of this is I can put it over a plant and then cinch around the base, and hopefully no insects will eat my plants. I've heard a lot about grasshoppers eating plants, especially plants from the brassica family like kale and collards and cabbage, all those things. So I would like to protect against that, and I would also like to protect against cabbage butterflies, which I battled with last year. I was always picking worms off at the sink for like hours, and I just really don't want to deal with that this year. I did see some other people at the old community garden. They had mesh bags over their plants, so I figured I could do that myself. I think it's not super fabric-y. I did get this at Joann's. It's not made out of like plastic, but I think there is plastic in it that'll help it dry a little bit faster when it's on the plant, and hopefully it won't be wet sticking to the plant. So I'm gonna try these out and see if they work, and well, I'll let you know how it goes. I am at the garden, and it rained a good 1/4 of an inch last night. Just checking out the plants. It didn't look like we got any hail, which is good. I noticed on this purple green bean plant that there is leaf miner damage. So lovely. I think you can even see them in there. Well, I am here today to collect some Swiss chard leaves. Some of these need to be cut, like this one right here. I planted rainbow chard, so I have a nice variety of colors. I did go ahead and thin some of the red ones though, because the red Swiss chard has more oxalate than the other Swiss chards. I just recently had a kidney stone that was made of calcium oxalate. Just trying to limit as much as I can so I don't have another reoccurring kidney stone episode. I'm also going to be picking some radish. There's a few that I think are ready to pull. At least I hope they are. Wow, that is so perfect. I'm just gonna go around and do a light dusting of fertilizer, especially on the tomato plants. Now that they are a little bit more established, figured I would fertilize them just a little bit. This stuff smells so bad. Look how amazing the corn looks. Wow. Big, strong. This one has like a little side shoot. Oh, I guess maybe that's normal. Okay, we also have pinto beans growing between the corn. I'm looking for one, leaf miner eggs, which are really small, white, long ones, usually on the back of the leaf. And I'm also looking for leaf miners inside the leaf. And if I see those, then I just tear off that section of the leaf. "93 grams of purple plum radishes, 145.8 grams of rainbow Swiss chard. Okay, hi, I'm gonna try this super sugar snap pea. This is the one that we won at the raffle at the community garden, not the ones that I have grown from seed. So let's test it out. Tastes like a snap pea. Not the best snap pea I've ever had in my life, but it's the first harvest, so I'm not gonna judge it too hard. I prepare Swiss chard the same way as I do kale. I usually saute onions first. On kale, I usually don't use the stem, not a big fan of it, but for Swiss chard, I de-stem the leafy greens and then saute them up first because they need more cooking time than the greens. After those are cooked halfway through, I add the Swiss chard greens. I'm also gonna add the tatsoi to this as well. Just gonna add it in with the Swiss chard greens. And I saute them until they are bright green. And at that point, I add garlic. You could eat it just like this, but what I'm going to do is add these meatless grounds from Trader Joe's because I am making a complete meal and this is the protein part of it. And there we go. That is how I add greens into my meals. They cook down so small, so I feel like I can just add them into anything or just eat them by themselves if I have enough. In this case, I had a small amount of Swiss chard, so that is why I decided to add it to the protein portion of this meal. Went out on the balcony this morning and I found an onion tipped over like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it. I have a feeling that it's gonna be rotted. So let's see what's going on. Okay, not bad. I mean, it's a little squishy. It's a little squishy. I don't really think this is usable as an onion. It's simply just the little onion start with some greens and some roots and that's it. Hopefully these other ones do better than this one. In other news, our moonflower is sprouting. Look how huge those are. 2 of them. That's exciting. And it looks like back here, the loofah is also starting to sprout. Very exciting as well. It is in the afternoon and the moonflower has grown so much since I checked this morning. That's the loofah. I am back at home on the balcony and I just went to Home Depot with my girlfriend and we picked out some flowers. We picked out a mix of snapdragons, zinnias, and this next plant is definitely pronounced calibrachoa. Calibrachoa? Calibrachoa. I invite you all to please laugh at my pronunciation of that word in this next scene. What is this? Calibrachoa. I don't know if that's how you say that. Calibrachoa. I'm not sure. I really have no idea, but it's really pretty and it trails out of whatever pot you put it in. So I'm gonna put it in this pot with this snapdragon, and this is the zinnia that we got, which is orange. This one says it's ombre pink, and I think this one is also pink. The snapdragon is, yes, perfectly pink. Angel face, summer snapdragon. And this one just says zinnia. Alrighty, let's get to it. I think I'm also going to put a zinnia in here. I don't know why. I don't know how big they get, but I'm just going to put it right there in the middle. This last zinnia I'm gonna plant over here. So the peas are not doing well. The snap peas over here. And I'm tempted to just rip them out. I planted it with the 2 strawberry plants that I have. I believe one is sending out a runner, which I really want to propagate. I'm thinking about doing that soon. I'm hoping this will bring a little bit more pollinators to the garden. There's also a hummingbird that flies around here. It was flying around the balcony the other day, actually. I think it would like those trumpet-shaped flowers, the one that I can't pronounce. I think it would like those type of flowers, so maybe we'll see more of it. I kind of feel bad about ripping out this pea plant, but I also don't, because it did not taste that good for being a super sugar snap pea. If I do say so myself, it was very fibrous. I just don't think it was a healthy plant, and I have plenty planted at the other garden. It had its run, and you know what? It was free, so not feeling too bad about it.